I'll bet that you happen to have noticed by now that not everything in this world is either straight ahead or down and in like reading this book. A lot of times in our working life, or sometimes for hobbies, objects that we need to see at intermediate or at near aren't that conveniently located. They could be up there, down there, over here, over there, just about anywhere. That is where occupational lens design comes into play. Hello and welcome to the Laramy-K Optician Works Training Center, where today I'm going to talk a little bit about occupational lenses. It's one of those things I'm always out looking at social media trying to find subjects that people are interested in. Well, in one day, for some reason, occupationals came up twice, so I thought, hey, this would be a really good thing to talk about. Gonna hit the whiteboard for a minute, and then I'm gonna show you some close-ups of some really cool stuff that we do at Laramy-K. During one of my phone interviews, I talked with Tom Conrad of Heartland Optical, who's done a whole lot of work with occupational lenses, and he gave me a quote that I think is the perfect one to talk about. If you want to separate yourself, listen. Perfect mantra for talking about occupational lenses. You can't buy these online. I'm starting to get a little bit tired of the whining on social media. Online eyewear sales has been around for about 15 years now. Let's move on. If you want to do something to fight online sales, well, then offer something that they can't do. Same-day sales and cool stuff like occupational lenses. What do you get to do? You get to listen to people like you. How good is that? These are tradespeople. These are people that work with their hands. They are like you. They're creative. They build things. They think about how to make things work better. Talk to them. Listen to them. Things are going to be pretty good. Being an optician means that you're solving problems for people, fixing their visual needs. Where do you pick up these accounts? Every time you see or hear the word safety, safety glasses, safety account, safety frame, you'll be listening for the opportunity to talk about and sell occupational lenses. Electricians, mechanics, plumbers, maintenance techs, x-ray techs, every one of those positions within a large factory, a big plant, has things that they have to work on that are above their line of vision. And as we get older and we need that add power, when I'm looking up here and need to work on that little part and my segment is below my eye, I literally cannot work. I cannot look up here and use my hands and have everything work. It's biomechanically impossible. That's why these occupationals, if you get them right, you've got a friend for life. With that said, make sure that you set expectations correctly. If in doubt, draw it out. It's like in our prism problems, right? If you're not sure the person's not really quite getting it, take them in the back, have a chart set up, draw what you're going to be presenting them on the outside of the lens in the correct position, the correct spacing, and put it on and talk to them about it. Set the expectation. Now, watch your markup on products like this. It is a unique product. It is a unique skill set that you have developed in order to sell the product. In particular, the patience to listen, really listen, not talk, and find solutions to their problems. It's a unique skill set. Charge for it. Charge appropriately. You do not want to end up losing money on the end of these. We're about to tear this down and start talking about the individual different kinds of lenses that are out there. I just do want to drive home the point. Yes, freeform is being used in this stuff. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff that we are doing with freeform. But remember that freeform is equal to freedom minus frame. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that if I have my frame and that person chooses, let's say, the old double D setup, and the double D sits like that and like that, well, they're good to go, right? They got the full seg distance in the middle here, great. Well, if they got a frame that was real narrow for some reason, and you had your D there and the other one ended up here, well, that's not going to quite work, is it? That's when I say, even with the freedom that we have in creating a lens using freeform, it still has to work within the parameters of the frame. With that said, if it can be done, we, Laramy-K, can do it. If you need a solution, talk to us, draw it out, talk to your customer, listen to your customer, call us, fax us, or email us the drawing, and if it can be done, we'll do it. I'm going to wipe the board clean, and I'm going to talk about the different lens styles that are out there. Thanks to Tom, who gave us that original quote, and thanks to Cody at Northern Illinois Optical, who also helped me out on this project. An occupational lens, we can think of it as any lens that helps someone perform a, let's put in there, a specific task. And yes, that could be a single vision, no reason it couldn't be. And it does also include those office progressive lenses that we've talked about in the past. The most common one that we use is called the double D. That's this setup here, a lined bifocal. There used to be a lined trifocal called the quadrifocal. That no longer exists because those blanks are not made anymore. So you see these pretty often. This distance is fixed. I believe that's about 15 millimeters of separation. You fit it using the line just as you would on any other ordinary single lined style multifocal. What I didn't know, and this is kind of interesting, is that you can get different add powers here. And how would you know which ones you would use? Well, where are we? We're right back to what we said originally, listening to your customer. Talk about what setting they're using those glasses for. So there's a chart there. I'll probably throw that up somewhere on the website. If we don't get around to that, just call us and we can tell you how those are available. Now, there is nothing that says my D has to be there. With an occupational, I could tell the lab that I want it there. If you took a prism reference chart like that and you said I needed my D to be there, you could draw it out, tell us, and that is where you would end up getting your segment. Now, Ds are a little bit funny when you do that, so most people actually use rounds, and that you could put wherever it happened to be needed. Think, be creative. Just like moving around those segments, I can also move around my OC. Now, this is where we come into pool players, shooters, archers. Those people want their optical center to be in the line of vision that they are using. So wherever that might be, that is where I can place my OC. Moving it to where that person needs it for the perfect vision that they require, that's making an occupational lens. Shooters will also look for what are called occluders. They may want this customized OC placement and the other lens being frosted. Athletes are another place. Cyclists like a lens that's set up with the OC up, so when they're leaned over looking at a head, it's clear, but they need to look down and read a computer. Golfers. I have mentioned this many times before on the website. People will spend money for that little bit of an edge when they're serious about a sport or athletics. Golfers, $1,000 for a single golf club. Cyclist, $200 for a tire, right? If you can make them something that gives them that little edge, whether it's real or imagined, because sports is quite a bit about the mind, trust me, you can make some money here. Talking about custom work. I showed you this one a while ago when I do my distance lens power up top and plano at the bottom. Those are a set that I made there completely by hand. It's custom work, but that certainly would fall in the occupational lens category. And saving the best for last, there is an example of what we do using freeform technology. There's a beautiful IoT progressive lens down here with either a straight top lined multifocal segment above or a trifocal segment above. And we do have a little bit of wiggle room on that placement because we're doing it in freeform. We can move that around a little bit so it's in the perfect spot for your customer. Again, remembering that we're working within the parameters of our frame. So you have a bifocal progressive and a trifocal progressive. So what is the key to occupational lenses? Well, the ability to listen. Thanks again, Tom. Perfect quote. Listen to your customers. I'm saying be an optician, look to do creative work like this, find solutions for your customers' vision needs, especially those unique ones. If you do that, you're going to make happy customers, and you're either going to make yourself money or your employer, and that is going to make them pretty darned happy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found something useful there. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, give us a like on Facebook, leave me a comment, and make sure that every occupational uncut lens in your optical life comes from Laramy-K. And if you're not sure if an occupational design can be created, be sure you check with us first. Thank you, and I will see you again next week.